Hi, it's John here from GPS Training. What we're going to do this short video is look at the best budget outdoor GPS units for 2021. So when I talk about budget, what am I talking about? Price wise, I'm varying. My GPSs that I've got in front of me will vary from £179.99 to £325. So I appreciate it's quite a wide bracket. And there is three families of GPS units that sit within this price bracket. There's the eTrex range, eTrex 22 and 32X. There's the eTrex Touch range, which is eTrex Touch 35, and then there's a Garmin GPS Map 65. So there's a 65 and there's also a 65S. Now straight away, what I'm going to do is take two units out of the equation. I'm going to take the 65 out of the equation, and also there's actually an eTrex 22X. I'm going to take the 22X away, which is actually not there, and I'm actually going to take the GPS Map 65 away. Why am I going to take those away? It's because neither of those GPS units have electronic compasses in them. Electronic compasses in an outdoor GPS unit gives the GPS far better accuracy at small movements. If you think about it, it works off satellites thousands of miles above, and if you turn your GPS through 90 degrees, it kind of goes, so what, you've moved 2 inches. But when we've got an electronic compass in there, it gives you the accuracy. So again, if you want to know which way you need to walk, you can just rotate the GPS, and the GPS rotate the map accordingly, and that really does help. And again, it's only a few extra pounds for that, but it's certainly worth that extra investment. The other key thing that all these GPS units have is barometric altimeter. That gives you more accurate height data. You don't get that on the eTrex 22X, and you don't get it on the GPS Map 65. And that's not a big game changer, but I think the electronic compass is certainly worth getting on an outdoor GPS unit. So we're left with these three GPS units: the Garmin eTrex 32X, Touch 35, and GPS Map 65S. If I just throw a few prices in, you can see where they sit within it. Without any ordnance survey mapping, eTrex 32X is 21999. eTrex 35 is 2499, and then the GPS Map 65S is 325. So straight away, that's a significantly more expensive GPS unit, and that's therefore how we'll categorize them. If you are on a real budget, I would choose one of these two GPS units. If you can afford it, I would choose the GPS Map 65S. I'll tell you why I'm saying that. So these two GPS units, there's not that much in price. Button GPS unit, touchscreen GPS unit. When will you each of these GPS units? If most of your walking is done during the winter months, you've got gloves on, or some of your walking is done during winter months when you've got gloves on, you want a GPS just as a backup rather than as a main navigational aid. And again, you're very much in the high hills, and then it's going to be a lot cooler than what we'll find in the lower levels. I would go plump for the eTrex 32X. Really nice budget GPS unit which has buttons on it, therefore you can use it with your gloves on. If most of your walking is done during the late spring, summer and autumn, and or alternatively you're going to use it as well for cycling and geocaching and other such things, I would go certainly for the eTrex 35. Key thing with this is really nice, simple GPS units. It's a new generation GPS unit. You see it's got a little thing that pops up at the bottom which tells you that you want to reset your trip and track data. Again, it prompts you to do things all the time. And what it does is has these profiles, so height profile, bike profile, tour cycling, etc. So whatever activity you choose to do, you literally go into the profile and you swipe left or right within that profile. So you've got your trip computer page, you've got your compass page, and back to that map page. Really nice, simple, multi-activity GPS unit. Touchscreen, a lot of us are used to using touchscreen, so really nice if you're going for low-level walks or any high-level walks or during summer months. eTrex 35 is the one to go for. And I say alternatively, if you do winter walking and you're going to use gloves on and you are on a budget, eTrex 32X is the one to go for. If you can afford it, I would certainly go for the Garmin GPS Map 65S. I know it's significantly more expensive, but this is a new GPS unit. Both of these other GPS units are a couple of years old now, but this is a new GPS unit which is literally just 6 months old. Key thing is now it's what's called multi-band, so it uses 5 satellite system. where these use just 3 satellite systems. By saying it's multi-band, it uses 5 satellite systems and it takes 2 signals off each GPS, cross-references them, sees for any inaccuracy. If there's any inaccuracy, it forgets that satellite system. So we've got improved accuracy with that. Other key thing is it works next to what's called the Garmin Explorer app. Again, with these GPS units, we need to plug them into our PC or a Mac to plan our routes via it, and then we transfer the route data over via a cable. This tethers to your mobile phone, and therefore you can use what's called the Garmin Explorer app, and this is what a lot of the new generation GPS units are using. So again, if you're online and you find a nice walk you want to do on a website, you can just download the GPX file onto your mobile phone or your tablet and wirelessly transfer that onto this Garmin GPS Map 65S. So again, if you can afford it, you will not regret it. Also, having the buttons down below, it's just really nice and easy to use. So again, each button says what it's going to do. You have a rocker in the middle, so you got these big thick gloves on in winter. You won't go far wrong with that GPS unit. All these GPS units come preloaded with a topo-active mapping, which is the European mapping. You can see this on the screen. Very nice if you're overseas, but in this country, the problem with the topo-active mapping, it just shows everything as a path. It doesn't say if it's a footpath, a bridleway, or frankly a private drive. So we really need to add Ordnance Survey mapping onto each of these GPS units. That does increase the price slightly. There's 2 options of Ordnance Survey mapping with these GPS units. Well, there's actually 3 options when you think about it going. So the budget option is what's called a bird's eye voucher. Bird's eye voucher enables you to download 25,000 square kilometres of 1 to 25,000 mapping. So therefore you choose the area or areas of mapping that you want. So what you'll end up with is topo-active mapping of the whole of the country or the whole of Europe, and then for the 25,000 square kilometres you walk in the most. So an idea of that is that's the size of Wales and the Lakes District put together. So for that amount of area you'll have more detailed 1 to 25,000 mapping. So if you walk in specific areas, that's a really good budget option to go for. If you can afford it, I would go for the full GB 1 to 50k, 1 to 50,000 Ordnance Survey for the whole of Great Britain. Now it does increase the price of the GPS unit by around £100. On this unit it's just £75. On these units it's about £100 it increases for the full GB map card. Normally it's £150 that map card, but when you buy it with a unit you are getting a discounted rate, so make sure you do that. With the 1 to 50,000 mapping, wherever you go, you've got Ordnance Survey mapping available. So again, we're just looking at prices. 1 to 50,000 with the eTrex 32 is 32999, and again with the 65 it is it's £399.99 with the 1 to 50,000 mapping. The other option is to buy full GB 1 to 25,000. That also has 1 to 50,000 and 1 to 250,000 on it. Now the problem there is that map card is a standalone product. It's £349.99. So be investing that amount on a map card, we normally would sell it with a top-end GPS unit. So again, with this category, I would tend to stick with the bird's eye voucher if you just walk in a few areas, or the 1 to 50,000 mapping if you walk in throughout the country. So I hope this has very much helped with your choice of the best budget GPS unit. So if you can afford it, Garmin GPS Map 65S. Alternatively, if you're on a bit of a budget, eTrex 32X if you're doing winter walking, eTrex Touch 35 if it's mainly spring, summer or autumn walking, and or you do cycling, geocaching, and you're going to use it very much as a multi-activity GPS unit. Don't forget, we don't just sell a box here at GPS Training. We set the GPS unit up before it starts. We give you free access to our online training videos which teach you how to use that GPS unit. You get a quick start guide from ourselves on both how to use the unit and also how to plan routes on your computer. And don't forget, you get full email and telephone support for the first year after you bought that GPS unit. We're not just selling you a box with a unit, we're teaching you how to use it in with the price, and that's a key thing here at GPS Training.